Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a red eyeshadow look with the BH Cosmetics palette. First I'm going to go ahead and put my washi tape on. I'm going to go ahead and do it on both eyes so I can do them both at the same time. So I've already primed my eyes. I went ahead and put my washi tape on because if you've watched any of my other eyeshadow videos, you know that I like a really sharp cut on my looks. So to start, we're going to go in with this red shade right here. And we're going to apply that towards the outer corner of our eye, which is usually where I like to start. I'm just going to go ahead and slowly work that outline and get that started working into my crease. I really love the BH Cosmetics palette, but you really need to have a concealer or a primer down before you start, otherwise you will not get a good color payoff. I went ahead and put concealer on my eyes before this so that I would get that color payoff, but when you have that concealer on, it just works perfectly. It's also a relatively cheap palette, so you don't have to splurge to buy it. It has lots of colors. If you have any concealer at all, or even just foundation. I prefer concealer though because it's a bit lighter than your skin, so the pigment will go on a bit better. But even if you just put foundation on your eyes, it's something for it to stick to. Eyeshadow and powders usually just have a really hard time sticking to dry skin. So if you can have primer, foundation, any sort of liquid makeup you can put on if you don't have concealer or primer, that should work too, but I always just use concealer. Now that I have that eye, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on this eye again. I'm just gonna do that basic little outline and then work it into my crease. Another great thing about this palette is that if you don't want the exact color that's there, the color builds, which is amazing because you could get so many different variants of these colors. Whereas with certain palettes, if it's too pigmented, which is not something you would normally hear, like too pigmented, unless it's staining someone's eye. But the great thing about palettes not being super pigmented unless they have a primer or a concealer is that there's so many more colors and it's a lot more to work with. And if you can learn how many coats or applications give you the color you want, then you have even more options. I'm gonna have to go clean up that little, I don't even know, just in a minute, because it's kind of ruining the whole sharp thing. But good news is I can just fix it with some concealer and it's fine. Now that I have that base laid down, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this darker red color, and I'm going to apply that again to the outer corner of my eye because I just want it a bit darker over there. This one's a metallic shade, so if you don't want a metallic shade, maybe use a different palette or a different eyeshadow. But I personally really like metallic eyeshadows. I just don't like creamy eyeshadows because I tried them whenever I was I don't know, maybe 7 and I just have never been able to get over how it felt on my eye. Maybe I'll try them again. Maybe I'll make that a whole nother video, just getting over cream eyeshadows because they always seem to bug me. If I ever see cream eyeshadow on everything, I avoid it like the plague. Now that I have that in place, I'm just gonna go in with this orange so I can layer it a bit more. And I'm just gonna put that on my lid and kind of blend that into that red. Again, I'm gonna go with this darker orange that's also metallic shade and put that in between the red and the orange. That way it's just a better blend. Now, just because I want to, I'm gonna go in with this brush right here. It's a very dense and small pointed brush. I'm gonna go in with that and this black shade right here. That's another thing I like about this palette. It comes with a large, what's it called? Tin, that's the word I'm looking for. Large size tin of black eyeshadow, because I would always do my eyeliner with black powder before I had an actual eyeliner. So I would just always use that. I'm going to smudge this along my lash line. So this might actually be a bit difficult to do holding a mirror. I'm actually gonna transition over here. That way I can actually see what I'm doing. I'll try and make it to where you can see where I'm doing. I don't know if you can. So I'm just kind of brushing that along where your eyeliner would go, but trying to keep it relatively thin. I'd say that's about where I want it when it comes to like sharpness. I really wanted to just do it with a brush and powder on this because it gives it more of a messy feel rather than just a clean cut line. And I think it fits much better with this look. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on my other eye, and now that I know what I'm doing, I have the basic of what I want. I'm gonna try and just dab up what fell so I don't have just a red streak on my face or an orange streak. To go a little under my inner corner with the black, just to kind of fill that out. And I'm gonna use this like angled brush and go in with the same colors I did here, just to finish out my under eye. So first I'm gonna go in with my lightest shade, which is this orange right here, and then I'm going to progress my way up. Slowly kind of flick that in. If you want the color to be bolder down here, you can always go in with concealer beforehand, and then you'll get a better payoff down here as well. I'm going to go back in with that deep orange, and then again start progressing with moving that towards my outer eye under my eye. It's okay if it's not super clean because I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and some concealer after I'm done with this. That way it's a thinner line, that way it looks cleaner to me. Now I'm gonna go back in with this lighter red. It's like a cherry red. Again, just slowly moving that back towards the outer corner of my eye. Now to wrap that all up, I'm just gonna go back in with this darker shade of red to finish my under eye just by connecting that to the liner, so to speak. Now I'm just gonna go in and clean it up a bit. I'm just going to take some of my concealer and dab it onto the end of my beauty blender. I like using the flat side because it just works better for me. And I'm just gonna clean it up off camera. Now that that's all nice and cleaned up, I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. like liquid eyeshadow eyeliner thing. For me, it has a pretty good like glitter payoff. I'm just gonna put this on the inner corner of my eye. I need to get my mirror. It was actually pretty cheap. I think it was like $8, which if you're not familiar with any sort of like glitter tubes, I guess, glitter liner, it's usually not that cheap. It's usually like $20 for a tiny tube, and it's the most annoying thing ever because you can just go through it so quickly because it's just glitter. Granted, I did not look super closely at all the ingredients on this thing, so it's possible that there's some harsh chemicals. I didn't look into it, but it works pretty well. So I can't say anything too bad about it. So now that I have the look pretty much finished, I'm just gonna go in with some eyelashes and then we'll be done. I feel like lashes are always the most annoying part because I have to wait for the glue to dry, and it always takes me like 3-4 times to get one on like properly, and then it's not even super good. So I'm not super great at putting them on yet because I don't use them a lot because they annoy me. So I'm trying to change that now that I'm doing videos again. So hopefully I can actually get decent at putting them on. Alright everybody, that is the finished look. Lashes did not take as long as usual, which was nice. I only had to try to put them on like twice each, so not terrible. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful or maybe entertaining. I don't know. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and hit the bell. That way you get notified whenever I post a new video because YouTube does not like telling people's subscribers when they post if they don't have the bell clicked on or they aren't one of the most engaged. So I hope you enjoyed the video again, and have a nice day or night whenever you're watching this. Bye-bye.